I've invited Jose Infante in from Independent Bank. How are you, sir?
Morning, I'm doing wonderful. And you?
Let's get you right up on top of that thing
All
there,
right, you bet.
and angle it up too. I know it's a little different than most radio station mics. Jose is you've had quite a history here in Muskegon as far as banking and finance and all that kind of stuff. You started Community Shores Bank right down the street. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I worked for FMB, Lumberman's Bank, for a long time. I was president of the bank, and Huntington Bank bought us in '98, I believe.
Okay.
And a team of us decided that that wasn't working out very well, and we went on and did a IPO, raised about $15 million, and decided to start a new bank.
$15 million.
Yeah,
you can raise that kind of money, huh?
You bet.
Hey,
you
buddy,
bet. This is a great town.
You want to be my new BFF?
You bet. Wasn't my money though,
right? I know.
And we did Community Shores Bank, and it's a great bank. And so I worked there for about 8 years.
Yep.
And then I decided, the board and I decided that we wanted to go in different directions.
Okay.
And they're great people. I'm still a large shareholder of the bank, and I said something else. And then I went to work for Independent Bank, and I do business development for them.
That's
in West Michigan.
That's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit was business development, because you know what, you're in the middle of one right now.
Right.
We're in the process of starting a business that I think a lot of people would probably say at this point you should maybe stay away from. What do you think? I mean, is broadcast still a really viable media, do you think?
Well, I think broadcast is. It's interesting what's happened in the whole media world. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I've seen the changes in the whole newspaper business. I mean, it's a really interesting change. To me, that's still out there.
Yeah.
See how people will they go online? How do you make money doing that?
Right.
How do you do that? This is different than that. This is a lot more fun.
Yeah, well,
yeah, and you're having a lot of good time. I can hear you every morning.
Until the alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning, then it's not so much. But
understand.
Everybody's got drawbacks.
That's right.
Anyway.
But the fun thing about it is that you're having fun.
Yeah.
And this is also a needed. I mean, truthfully, there was a missing piece. I mean, before you came on, I didn't listen to anything local.
Really?
Yeah, sure, truthfully. There wasn't anything that interested me enough.
Right.
And Franklin said, once we're going to do this, I said, really? And he told me a little bit about it, and I went on your website and put it on, and it's on the favorite.
Yeah.
So every morning.
One of our things that and I agree with you to an extent that the local radio offerings weren't what they need to be.
Right.
And you know what? We've got 100 watts. We've got a great online following. We've got that, but we've got a focus, and that is to make Muskegon matter and give people a chance to be on the radio. I mean, sure, you got big, and I don't mean this jokingly, but big shots like you. But then again, you can get a mom and pop in here that talk about the Applebrook outlet out there on Apple Avenue, something small. Custom Computers is on the air with us and things like that. Those are the kind of people that I personally felt were being kind of ignored by radio.
There was no venue for them.
Yeah.
There isn't. And that's one of the things you bring. You bring that extra piece of Muskegon out, if you want to call it that way. And this is this is a great town. I mean, I came here in '86, and my friends in Grand Rapids, I worked for a bank in Grand Rapids before, and I kind of grew up in Grand Rapids, although I was born in Cuba. But I came here, and my friends said, "You going to Muskegon?"
Yeah.
I said, well, it's an opportunity for a new job, more money, of course, and it's the lake, man.
Yeah.
It's the lake.
I kind of had the same thing, except the more money part, I'm like, hey, you're going to go work in Muskegon? Yeah, I'm going to go work in Muskegon, and it's worked out remarkably well for me.
Well, and for us, too. I mean, my wife had never lived anywhere else other than Grand Rapids. She grew up in Grand Rapids, and she would... Within 3 months of living here, she would never move back.
Really?
Yeah, never move back.
See, it grabs your heart pretty quick.
It's the town. It's the people. It's just the opportunities to have quality of life.
Right.
Okay, that's really crucial. Nothing against Grand Rapids because that's come a long way.
You're telling me.
But I was joking yesterday with a friend. I said, "This is heck, we're a suburb. I can be in Grand Rapids in a half an hour. 35 minutes. So if I want to go see a show or visit friends." That's fine.
Boom.
I mean, it's no different. I tell my friends, think about living in Cascade or Ada and working downtown Grand Rapids. You can be living on the lake and do it. It's the same distance, time-wise.
Let's talk a little bit about Muskegon now. There is so much going on, and a lot of it is maybe not announced yet, but I know that all up and down Western Avenue, there's all kinds of transactions going on with buildings being bought and people trying to get a lease and all that kind of stuff. Do you see... From a banker's perspective, do you see a boom about to happen?
Oh, it's exciting. In fact, just yesterday I had coffee with Gary Post, and Gary's a big proponent of Muskegon. He has lots of investments in downtown. His housing downtown, which is a crucial part of downtown Muskegon.
Sure.
We need housing.
Yeah.
He's got lots of plans. There's a lot of other people who have plans down there. Things are moving along.
Yeah.
They really are. Sometimes we who lived here for a long time would go, oh, come on. Why isn't it happening tomorrow?
I know.
I mean, we get there, and then you'll see 2-3 things happen, and then we want, okay. But it takes time. It takes time. It takes people. It takes capital. But you can see it. You can see it happen. You can see more people downtown.
Yeah.
Summertime downtown Grand Rapids. 2 new breweries.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know that Lansing doesn't even have a brewery?
Don't they really?
And we have 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we are the beer tent capital of the world.
Well, that's true, too. But it's great. Go downtown. Go downtown and walk around downtown. Maybe not today.
Right? Yeah, well, not quite today for that.
But almost any other time. And there's just a lot of things happening. And it's great.
But, I mean, are other people in the financial industry, do they have their eyes looking at Muskegon, too? And they're all going, there's something...
Sure.
Something coming.
What's happening is that we've always been thought of that, that jewel that everybody's missed, okay? Well, that's finally over. They found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And you can see it. You can see what's happening. I mean, I tell you what, the things are happening. With the new hotel, with the hotels.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the new subdivisions next to the plaza downtown that Jonathan Brooks is starting.
Oh, yep.
That's going well. I hear there's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, when you drive around, you go, oh, look at that. That's being updated. Oh, look at that. It's new. And that's exciting. It really is. But the housing is really crucial.
Yeah.
Getting people in fact, I was told that there's a lack of housing in Muskegon. Now,
really?
Think about that. People have not, because people, and when I say that, I mean in the certain places.
Right.
Like housing downtown.
Right.
There surely is not enough housing by the lake, by the water.
Well, sure,
okay?
but I mean, you've only got so much room.
But even subdivisions that are now starting to pick up.
Yeah.
They're being sold out.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are good signs.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is 2 things. One of them, the economy is better.
Yep.
Okay. That's always important. 2, back to the issue about people in Grand Rapids thinking, I can live on the lake and drive in. Okay. That's happening more and more. And it's just a good place to live.
Yeah.
So I think, you're seeing it. There's no question about it. From when I came here in August of '86 to today, what a huge difference.
It is.
And it wasn't bad then, truthfully.
But we kind of hit a slump there for a little while, and that happens.
That happens. And it is, it's great. I mean, and the fact that it took a lot of guts to tear down that mall downtown.
Yeah.
It sure did. And those guys did a great job, and it's paying off.
Yep.
People wanted thinking that the next day, everything will be up. Well, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
But it's happening. It really is.
What would you say now, as you're a business development director for Independent Bank and stuff? We're talking to Jose Infante from Independent Bank. If you're just tuning in, what if somebody came to you today and said, "I have a business idea. I'd like a loan for this." What are the surefire things that you would go, "Oh yeah, we're in"? For somebody that wanted to start a business in Muskegon.
That's what I do. I mean, I get lots of that. I mean, I get lots of people calling me and saying, "Hey, from scratch idea.
Yep.
Here's what I got." And what and when I do with people is, okay, let's do what's your business plan?
Yep.
Let's walk through a business plan. How we look at a couple things. We look at cash flow.
Yep.
You make enough money. We look at do you know what you're doing?
Yep.
Do you have any idea that what if you have a plan to do something? Hopefully, you've had some experience in that business, okay. And then we look at collateral. But the important thing really is the cash flow, and you have experience.
Yep.
Okay. And so we go through, and I say, let's do a business plan.
Okay.
And lots of times, what I say to them, go to SCORE.
Yep.
SCORE will help you do it. There's a lot of retired business people who just, truthfully, they want to give back.
Sure.
All right. And they'll put together a great plan for you. And if your idea works, we look at it. We love to look at it.
Yep.
We walk you through it. We help you the process. Does this make sense? But there's a lot of great ideas in town.
Yeah.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs here.
Right.
There really are.
Yeah.
And businesses that you've never heard of are in Muskegon that are under the radar screen, who do business sometimes, some in Muskegon, but some nationwide.
Yeah.
But our headquarters here. And lots of that, we're finally getting young people who grew up here coming home.
That's a key thing.
And everybody talks about it. I used to be a trustee at Grand Valley. I served 8 years on their board, and the big thing they always talked about there was keeping the kids who graduated here,
well,
in West Michigan.
Have you seen the population of Allendale?
Well, I know.
I think they got that one right.
Yeah, right. And I still do a lot of stuff for Grand Valley. I'm still on their foundation board. I'm in their investment committee. They do a great job. Well, the same thing, the same idea is happening here. Now, there's some challenges.
Yep.
There's some challenges. I mean, I talked to a young lady the other day, and she's a professional, and she just has a hard time finding a job at what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay. There just isn't that many jobs in certain areas.
Yeah, there's not.
Great health care. The healthcare area of Muskegon is wonderful.
Yep.
Medium-sized manufacturing is doing extremely well here.
I have a friend that's got a product called the Delia Raptor.
Okay.
And this thing is it's like a fire axe on acid, and he manufactures them right here in Muskegon, and he's out shopping these things around the world now.
Oh yeah.
These tools.
I have a number of clients who do something here. They manufacture an item here, and you would go, really? You do that?
Yeah.
Because I've seen it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know it was here.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff that goes on your screen, and maybe that's good. A lot of times people don't want everybody to know what they do, and that's okay. But it's cool stuff.
It's really good
Really stuff, and it is happening more and more and more.
What's the forecast for tourism here, do you think, over the next 5-6 years? I mean, because there's a lot of stuff happening in and around the area. I mean, you got the big bypass coming in around Grand Haven.
Right.
You've got the potential for a casino to get dropped off in Fruitport.
One or two.
Oh, really? They're going for two. But, I mean, the Fruitport thing, it's kind of, everybody knows that it's just a matter of time.
Right. Well,
for tourism and that kind of stuff, what do you think?
There's no question that the job the community has done in bringing tourism back here is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay. You just look at the numbers. Look at one of the gauges, of course, is what hotels and motels have done.
Right.
Okay. I mean, it's just fantastic.
You take a look at the smile on Doug's face downtown, and you can tell things are going good.
Right. Well, and look what's happened. What's happened at the old. What's the place up at the carousels and the water park?
The
old
Double J.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about
then Michigan's Adventure.
Adventure. Which used to be called Deer
Park Funland.
Remember that?
Yeah,
remember those days?
I couldn't forget.
Yeah, and their numbers are just huge.
Yeah,
just huge. So we have one thing that just won't go away, and that's the water.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, all we do is build add-ons to that.
Yep.
I mean, we have something natural.
Yep.
And it's not just the big lake.
No.
I mean, there's a lot of other lakes.
Yes, there are.
I mean, think about how many lakes there is just in Muskegon County. Mm-hmm. Okay, White Lake is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Okay, Muskegon Lake in itself is really a cool place.
Yes,
okay?
it is.
I mean, there's nothing like going on that lake and just taking a tour around the lake. I mean, it is just fantastic. I think there's nothing but increase in people visiting this community.
Yeah.
There's so many things to do. There are so many things to do in the summer here.
Right.
The winter is interesting because we still have North Muskegon people still
you got the winter sports complex.
I have friends who travel around in the winter with like 10 couples, and they go visit different places in the winter, and they came 2 years ago to go there to go luging and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Now they're coming back every year.
Nice.
Yeah. Instead of going other places, now they come back here.
Yeah. Rudisell's all fired up
because it was just so much fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they stayed at the Shoreline Inn, and they just thought it was just wonderful.
It is wonderful.
And almost all are from Grand Rapids.
Yep.
And
that's good.
And some had never been here before.
Really?
Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
I mean, yeah, I was shocked.
Unbelievable.
They were what you would call they would go to Holland to go to the for the summer if they were going to go to the beach,
right?
Or maybe Grand Haven,
right?
And they just never had discovered us.
Yeah, well,
so that's changed.
Here we are,
and we're better beach,
and that's what you want. I mean, let's be honest.
Pierre Marquette Park is unbelievable.
It year after year it ranks as one of the best beaches in the world.
Correct,
and it's a great place.
So I'm saying we have this asset that just isn't going to go away.
No,
okay, and so all these add-ons, the music festivals, the Irish Music Festival is
huge,
unbelievable,
huge.
I mean, huge.
Yep.
The Unity, the Christian Festival, oh my gosh,
unbelievable.
How many people? I have friends from Detroit who go, I've never been to Muskegon before, but I come every year for this.
But you see, it's one of those things that's a destination festival.
Correct.
That is something that people will come from Chicago, Detroit,
right.
Milwaukee, all that kind of stuff to be a part of it. One of the things you see as far as these festivals, and you hated to see Summer Celebration come to an end,
right.
But the fact of the matter is that model of festival isn't working anywhere anymore. So
it's run its course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was time for that to move on, and
the shorter festivals have working better
a little bit,
yeah,
and a theme,
right?
Especially with the Christian music theme or the Irish music festival theme and all that kind of stuff. Talk to me a little bit about Cuba. I mean, I was kind of surprised when you walked in and we were making a little chit chat before we got off the air. You were originally from Cuba. You came here at 9?
9 years old. You have an hour for this?
Yeah, well,
I came here. Actually, I was born in Cuba. I was in Cuba during the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Really?
So in '61. So I was 9 years old, and I can remember seeing on TV the show trials.
Right.
After these guys had captured, I have 2 uncles. One who was waiting to join, and who ended up 20 years in prison. Another one who was a policeman who ended up getting thrown in jail for 20 years.
No kidding.
Yeah. So we've gone through that. I moved here we moved to Miami first. In those days, what they did is they gave you a visa. This is a little different than today.
Yep.
A visa, and then you waited about, I think my parents waited 18 months to get the visa. And when it only came from my mom, my 2 younger sisters, and me, and not my dad.
Really?
And so my parents had to make a really hard decision. I mean, at 9, I didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
Okay? But they decided to we would go and hope my dad came later. And we were very lucky. We have families over here already.
Yep.
So we had support when we got to Miami. And my dad came about 8 months later.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
tough.
then we got lucky. We had friends, and we hooked up some people. And we had a church in Grand Rapids called La Grave Avenue who sponsored us when we moved to Grand Rapids. Found my dad a job. When you have 300,000 or 400,000 people come to Miami at the same time, there's no jobs.
No.
Okay.
None.
And so we lived it. So I grew up in Grand Rapids, and so that was home. It's interesting. I just taught a professor at MCC asked me to come in a month ago to talk to his class about the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Right.
Okay. And a Muslim crisis. And one of the students said to me, "What do you think about the embargo?" I said, if I used to be. I used to say, "Oh no, the embargo is wonderful. You need to keep it. This is a bad country."
Yeah.
I finally said, let's get rid of it because it's an excuse, but let's at least get something out of it.
Right.
Sad part about it is when the president announces this change, I don't think he got enough. I think he got a bad deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have gotten more. He should have gotten freedom of the press. He should have gotten freedom of radio. You can't go on the radio in Cuba and talk about anything like this.
Can't you really?
Oh, no. There's you can't own property in Cuba.
Really?
People don't own their own property. They're considered the second worst humanitarian country in the world behind North Korea.
Wow.
So it's sort of naive.
Do you miss it?
Yes. And it's funny though. It's funny. I've had lots of opportunities to go, and I've never gone back.
Right.
My father, when he died, I promised him I would never go back until the Castros were gone. I might never go back now. But I haven't gone. Opportunities. I get lots of nonprofits who say, "Hey, you want to come with us?"
Sure.
I get that probably once or twice a year, and I've just said, "No, I'm not going to go." And I've had opportunity to go otherwise, and just haven't gone. So I won't go back until the country's free.
Right.
That's all there is to it. So, but. Maybe things. You never know. I want to be.
I'd like to be there that day.
I want to be optimistic.
I'd like to be there that day just to see, the look on your face. If you see things that you haven't seen since you were 9 years old again.
Yeah.
And I think your kids, I mean.
Oh, yeah. My sons have talked about, maybe we do this on this anniversary and that kind of stuff. And so, I have 3 adult children, and my oldest son will turn 40 in 2 years, which is when I will then turn. I will be about. I will be married 45 years. That's about right, I think. Yes, and because we have waited 5 years to have kids. So, and he's talking about maybe making that as sort of a trip. And I said, well, let's just see how things are there.
Yeah, they're going to get you, aren't they?
I don't know.
Well, Jose, it's a great thing to have you stop in. We appreciate your time this morning. I know you got a busy day ahead of a big snowstorm and all that kind of stuff. But my idea of economy, if I got $20 on me, I'm happy. I got a good economy going, so I don't know a whole lot about the workings of banking and the real estate and all that stuff going on in town. And for you to stop in and share some of what I thought I felt,
right?
Because I can see it.
I really appreciate it. This is fun.
I can see a big thing coming in the next 5 years, and when we came on with the station, I knew we were ahead of the curve.
Oh, This is wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled you guys are doing this. This is wonderful community. The way you tout this community is wonderful.
That's my
Nobody else is doing that.
Well, I was telling you off the air.
Right.
When I moved here, I had a drinking problem and a couch, and that was it. I had no money. I had barely enough ability to get an apartment, and ever since then, even through the trials and tribulations of life, I've been embraced. And this community is my miracle. It's my home.
Well, this is a great community. The giving in this community is people would be shocked.
Yeah.
How many people here give a lot from their heart, their pocketbook, all right? And there's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of companies here who are doing really well, who are hiring.
Yeah.
I said to people, if you're looking for a job, truthfully, look around because there's jobs here.
It's not hard to find.
There really are.
And if you got to do a couple of them, do them.
Yes, right.
I do.
That's right. And it's the way it works.
Yep.
But this is still a town of great opportunity.
Jose Infante.
I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me on.
Thanks for coming. And you know what? The door's open. You know how to get to the place.
All right, sure do.
Absolutely. Jose Infante, Independent Bank. Thanks so much for stopping in here at Muskegon's 100.9. Have a great day, sir.
You too, sir.